Hi Mark, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about things that I'm picking up on my calls with various clients. A lot of people talking about the fact that potentially there's less high-end work available. I think they were putting that down to the economy at one stage, and they were hoping that the budget might stimulate the economy. And I think there's probably reason to think that that's not the case. And they're asking about things like, do you think we should be cutting costs? Do you think we should be making the business more efficient? You start with marketing. I mean, what's your approach to a difficult economy and cutting back on marketing spend?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that my practices will be cutting back on marketing, but it's something that depending on how your practice works and where its KPIs, what it's measuring, it's certainly something that should be looked at to make sure that there's a return on that investment. When I see, so if I was to take the general dental practice that I see and go to buy, and even if they're fairly they're fairly in tune with their numbers. I still find that marketing is one of the things that is sometimes poorly labeled or poorly actioned. And the reason being is the marketing can be working, the phone can be ringing, and people can be contacting you to come in and seek treatments. They tend to be through external marketing where they've seen an ad online or anything around that type of, especially digital marketing and the budgets that go in there. It's low trust a lot of the time there. So if you're not really good on the phones, if you don't have a really good patient journey and TCO process and nurturing and follow-up emails and sending value, then the conversion rates of your marketing tend not to be so great. And quite often you see there's my marketing budget and here's what I get out at the end of it. Now, it depends on where the weakest point in that journey is for you, is where things will fall down. We measure various points along the journey and always look to be improving them. And quite commonly, if I'm perfectly honest, it's phones and it's call handling that needs to be improved for people inquiring. So if you don't know where the problem is, I would suggest yes, and you're not getting the income results into your practice, then I would suggest then looking at your marketing budget to see if there are areas that you want to decrease. But certainly, if you are a practice or a business that is tracking loads of metrics, exactly where the traffic is coming from, where the calls are coming from, the stage in the journey that are working stages in the journey that are working well and converting. If you're up on all of that, like my practices, you won't be looking at reducing the budget. You'll be looking at investing further into the team training. So I think it depends on where your business is. But certainly in this market, you would recognise that there does seem to be a reduction in demand, and certainly that report's coming from me from numerous practices external to our group. So it's definitely, sorry to give a complicated answer, but depending on where your practice is, that may be one of the things you want to look at reducing, and then really getting a good handle on those numbers, and your patient journey and the steps in it, and be measuring specific aspects of that before you start to increase your marketing budget again, which I would recommend anyway, but now is a prime time to really get control of that.